without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest tonight, and she's an author. You will recognize her anyway because she was on Channel 12 and CBS 12. Before that, she was on ABC 6. She's been on WPRO Radio. Raina Smith, and how are you this evening?
Great, Bob. Thank you so much for having me. And we match.
I was going to say that. I mean, that's amazing. I mean,
complete
everything matches. The color of your book. Even look at this.
Oh, the Peg Award.
Look at this. The color of the Peg. Everything's in color. We're in sync all the way around. How do you like that?
Well, thank you for having me. This is really a delight.
It's fun. It's fun to finally get you on my show.
I know. I've never been here. I know you've invited me before.
Yes.
I think this was a great time to come on. So thank you for inviting me.
And then when I found out that you had authored this wonderful book.
Thank you.
And this is. I mean, this book is this out yet? Is this already out?
It is. It is. It's the paperback is for sale on Amazon.com, and then I have ebooks for sale on Amazon.com.
Ebooks in.
Right. An ebook would be like for Amazon. They have the Amazon Kindle, which
cool.
is an e-reader.
Right. So you don't have to buy the physical book. You just,
right. You could buy an ebook for your Kindle on Amazon, or for your Nook on BarnesandNoble.com.
That's amazing. Those things are amazing.
Or for your iPad on the Apple iBook Store, or for your Sony Reader on the Reader Store. So it's available in all those stores.
And it's you're getting your money's worth, first of all, without saying a price. This book is
470 pages.
470 pages. And how long did it take you to write this book?
Well, I think from when I started the book until when I wrote the final sentence, it was probably about 6 years. But
really?
But there was a point in time where I didn't.
You stopped for a little while?
Yeah, like I left it for a year. I had a lot of other things going on. But I wrote the bulk of this book in the last 2 years. So I would say about 2.5 years. It would take about 2.5 years to write this book for me.
Right.
I'm sure other authors write quicker or slower, but I would say about 2.5 years. But from start to finish, it really was 6 years. And I took time off and, just kind of.
Now this is fiction, right?
It's fiction.
And what is it? A quick synopsis. What is it about?
Well, it's really about the inherent nature of mankind, the good and evil that exists within every human being. And basically, a scroll has been discovered. One has been discovered at the Vatican, another in Tibet. And the prophecies of the scroll predict that it now is the end of days for man. And at this time...
This is like a Nostradamus type thing here?
No, not really. No, not like that. It's more of a thriller/religious thriller.
Right.
At this time, an angel descends from heaven. His name is Glenn. And Glenn. And at that time, the underworld sends up an evil character. Her name is Faylene, and she is on the cover here.
Oh, that's Faylene? I want to meet her. Faylene looks pretty hot, don't she? Got a shot of Faylene? Got a shot of Faylene.
And she has some writing on her back. She's an
What is the rating? What is the rating?
That is a portion of the Vulgate Bible. The Vulgate Bible is an early 5th century translation of the Bible in Latin. So you see a little bit of that there, burned into her backside in that image on the cover. Anyway, she shadows the angel who has come here to earth to find the last pure soul on earth. Faylene places a wager with the angel and says, when you find this person, turn them over to me and let me test them for purity of heart. No other way can the true resolve of mankind be tested.
So the bad girl, from hell, comes up and makes a deal, makes a wager with the angel.
With the angel, Glenn. He agrees, so he searches for someone across the world. He finds one person, then does turn that person over to Faylene, and then we see the excruciating measures she puts this person through.
Wow.
And then it explores sort of the dichotomy of man, and it begs the question, who is man, inherently good or evil?
Right. Well, we're going to get back to that, who's inherently good and who's inherently evil, after we talk to Jacob. Raina Smith, formerly of CBS 12, reporter. Right. How was that? Did you have fun doing that?
I did. Being a news reporter was great, especially working at WPRI TV. I had a lot of great coworkers.
A lot of great people.
Yeah.
A lot of good people work over there.
Yeah, I'm still friends with many of them, and it was just a wonderful experience. You know, getting out every day. What was nice about being a news reporter is your job is different. It's sort of the same because you're writing news stories, but
Right.
but it's different because you're covering something different every single day, and that's very exciting. One day you could be working on a murder trial. The next day you could be doing a crime or interviewing the governor or going to the ACI. So it was always different. You got to meet a lot of people, and it was really a lot of fun.
Speaking of a murder trial, did you follow the doctor, the Michael Jackson doctor trial?
A little bit.
Murray was his
Yeah,
name, right?
Conrad Murray.
Did you think he was going to get convicted?
I did.
I did too.
It seemed like he
Yeah.
probably, well, he was, I don't think he intended to do it, but
What I thought was amazing when he's asking somebody if they knew CPR. I mean, this guy's a doctor. He's got to ask somebody else if they know CPR.
well, perhaps he didn't want to administer the CPR because he'd be implicated. Maybe he wanted to, and if he did something wrong, maybe he already knew that would
At
cause.
$150,000 a month, he should have been,
Well,
handling
I think
that,
maybe
right?
he was thinking of his,
Yeah.
how it would,
Yeah.
what could happen.
Well, look
the
what happened to him
consequences.
anyway. It's getting cold in here, I think. It's a little cold in here.
A little bit, a little chilly.
All right, let's get back to the book. The 13th Apostle.
Right. There is a character in this novel, The 13th Apostle. His name is Yashmiel, and he's an alleged.
Well, how'd you come up with these names? What
I made that one up, just to,
Say it again?
Yashmiel.
Yashmiel. What
Y-A-S-H.
nationality or what ancestry is that? Yashmiel.
I just kind
Yashmiel.
of made it up. And he's an alleged 13th Apostle of Christ that was ministered to by Christ, and that he wrote these scrolls that he left behind. And these are now, surfacing and are revealed and are being read today. So I named the book after that character.
Well, that could be Tom Hanks that plays that character.
Oh, maybe.
Right?
Yeah, I just watched Angels and Demons by
Yeah,
Dan Brown.
yeah.
Oh, well, Ron Howard directed it.
Now, I thought that was the same movie as the other one that they did.
The Da Vinci Code?
Yeah.
Well, it's
The sequel, right?
right. It was the Da Vinci Code, then Angels and Demons.
Oh, so it is following through. So
Yeah.
speaking of sequels, do you plan a sequel?
I do. This book ends on a cliffhanger.
Aha.
So
Which is what? Can you tell us what the cliffhanger is?
no, well, I
all
can't.
right,
I can't.
all
I
right.
mean, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but there's a cliffhanger here, and it's really a surprise ending. But it leads right into the next book, and I have started the sequel. I've written the first 7 chapters right through, and I saw the ending. I know what's going to happen, and I just couldn't not write it. So I started the ending already, and I've written the final 2 chapters. Now I just have to finish.
Fill in. You have to fill in. Now,
Which will take a long time.
This is intriguing for me and interesting for me because I've been collecting and keeping notes for 30 years, and I plan on at some point in my life. I bet it probably started soon anyway. A book or 2 of my life's experiences, which I hope would be interesting to people. And I've looked at 2 or 3 different directions. Like I'm what they call, and I don't know, most people understand this or realize it, I'm a chronic pain sufferer.
Oh.
And I've looked at, I got hospitalized as a kid, and I spent 6 months in the hospital, and as years passed on, I've had several back operations. All these, and the pain that the person goes through, a chronic pain sufferer deals with, affects everybody around them.
Right.
And that was one thought, but I thought that might be a downer type book. So
Well, it should be a part of it because it's a very real part of your story, I think. It should be a part of it. Absolutely. It's a part of your life if that's what you want to talk about. And I think any project, such as a book, should be driven by passion. That's what kept me in the chair. I loved my story so much. I knew what the story would be about. When I conceived the idea of the story, I didn't know who the characters would be yet. I didn't really know where it would take place or much of what would happen. I just had a general understanding. And I just sat down to the computer. I so loved the story and I so wanted to tell it. I just sat down and I started anywhere. I just began anywhere.
Well, the good thing is a computer makes it quite a bit easier than
does.
writing down things, because you forget. As you're writing, you can kind of forget things.
You can erase, you can go back, you can squeeze
Right.
things in, you can really look at it over and over and then fix it or change it, which I do constantly. I mean, I'll write a paragraph.
Plus, you get spell check.
Yes, and
That's very helpful for me.
check the grammar, punctuation,
Right.
everything.
Right.
So, so that's a great advantage today. And for you, because you want to tell your story, that'll keep you in the chair. You want to tell your story. You'll love writing it every day. You'll remember this and remember that, and want to make it the best that you can. So,
But I like positive things. I like to uplift people. I
Well,
don't want
I
to bring
mean,
them
I don't-
down.
I
I don't want
don't-
to bring anybody down.
whatever your story is, whatever it is, it is. I'm sure there were highlights and lowlights, and whatever your story is, you tell that story. And I personally don't think you should sway it one way or the other. Well, I want people to be happy after. Well, did you, is there a bias in there? You don't want to not
Right.
tell the truth for your story, because it would be an autobiography. Mine's fiction. I can make up whatever I want.
Well, how about if I turned it into a fiction?
Well, you could do that. You could do that. But it seems like you want to tell your own story, so you should do that. You don't want to make it fiction.
And so you can, because that's the other thing. Where do you start? Where do you start? Like in a case of like me telling an autobiography, where would I start?
Well, I
do I
guess-
start when when you're born? Do you start when you're 10? Do you start when you're 20?
I think, having spoken with you earlier about your life, that it would seem to me that you would begin at a point in your life where something that really, greatly affected you, such as the death of your father, and that's how you started your Toys for Tots, because you were one of many children, and was it that Christmas that there were no
Right.
presents, and
Right.
that's what catapulted or launched you into wanting to do this Toys for Tots? I would start, I don't want to tell you what to do. I might start there.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a very real moment, and it affected you for the rest of your life, and it encouraged you to do this great work. So why wouldn't you start there? And here's where you are now, doing this this great charitable work. That's just my suggestion.
Well, I like it. Now, how did you come up with your idea? Where did you come up with your
Well,
idea?
I've always thought about mankind and humanity, and
I mean, it's heavy stuff.
well, it's what I like to think about, and I'm sure you have, when you meet people, nice people, not so nice people, or people who do different things.
Right.
You just sort of assess them and think about, why does that person do what they do, or boy, what a wonderful person. Like we were talking about my friend Glenn Laxton earlier.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Ace,
Yeah.
great guy.
Great guy.
Absolutely
Got
great
me
guy.
started in broadcasting. Was my mentor.
Very smart man too.
Brilliant, nice. He's everything. So I just lost my train of thought for a second. So what were we talking about? Where we begin?
Yeah. Where'd you come up with the idea for this whole project?
Well, it's something I've always thought about. Mankind and good and evil, and I just one day was thinking about the world and mankind's place in it, and who we are. Are we? Because when you look at the state of the world today, sometimes you think, God, what are we?
Right.
What have we done? What have we done to other nations? What have we done to ourselves?
Yep.
Ourselves personally, our brother, our neighbor, whomever. And I just sort of saw, my vision was sort of, see the world and then man on the world, and then I just kind of went from there.
Now, having been a news reporter, you think that helped you a lot?
I think so, because when you're a news reporter, you go to the scene of a story.
Right.
Let's say you go to the scene of a murder. Someone was murdered in the house. You speak with the police.
Right.
You interview the witnesses. You see what you can see. Maybe the door is ajar, and you can see inside. You can see what investigators are doing. Maybe you can see the body. You can see, hear, smell. You take all of that and
Right.
you put it in your story. You report the facts. So you do the same thing when you're writing a novel.
Yep.
What I do is I see the scene first. I see the scene like it's a movie. And I like that. Maybe this should be this way. Maybe they should say this. And I watch it in my own mind, and then I have the task of writing down exactly what I see, exactly what I hear, like I would a news story. only this is in long form, and it's not a 2-minute news story in a newscast. It's a 470-page novel.
Well, that's got to be
It's
a
big
luxury
story.
when you think about it, because
It's- yeah.
when I always think about being a news person, I mean, you're so limited. You got to put so many facts in such a short amount of time, and then they may
Right.
even cut it further when they air it.
Right. It is a luxury to have as much time as you want, as much space, but it really did help me. Being a news reporter helped me be a better storyteller, of course. How could it not?
Right,
And
right.
even just be a better writer and better at grammar and or expressing yourself. And I don't think I could have written this novel having never worked as a news reporter. Probably would have had the story, but maybe it wouldn't have been as descriptive. A lot of my readers say, it's so descriptive, I see it as a movie. And that's a great compliment.
Well, you heard that tonight, actually.
It's a great compliment to me because I've done my job. Or when someone communicates to me that, oh my God, they hate this character, or
Right.
they
Well, that's
they
part
cried.
of it, though. Yeah,
I had
yeah.
one
you
reader
you
tell
want
me,
them to hate the villain, right?
right, but it's your job to paint that picture of who they are and the things that they do. One reader told me that they cried at a scene that I cried when I wrote it.
Wow.
So that have worked like that.
It worked.
Yeah.
Period.
I've done my job as a storyteller.
Yes. Yes.
I hope.
All right. Let's hear a little bit about Raina Smith.
Oh no.
Now, you are from Rhode Island.
I am. I grew up in North Scituate.
No, I said you're a farm girl.
Yeah, it was nice, and it was a great place to grow up. I graduated from Scituate High School. I think my graduating class was about 93 or 98 people. We all knew each other intimately.
I guess.
I'm still friends with a lot of my classmates, and it was just a nice, easy place to grow up. I don't remember any crime or kids really doing anything bad, or it was just
Somebody's tipping somebody's cows, maybe. Was that the big
well,
thing?
I don't even remember
Cow
that.
tipping. That was a fad.
It was nice. I liked Scituate. My parents are still there, so it was a nice upbringing.
Yeah.
They have a nice school system.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful country out there around the reservoir.
Right. Yep. And I later went to Rhode Island College, and I studied communications.
That's a great school, by the way.
I loved my school.
Yeah, Rhode Island College is the best deal around, I think. I tell
loved
people
Rhode
that
Island
all the
College.
time.
I had great professors. Like a lot of people know Phil Palumbo.
I knew you. I was going to say him. If you didn't say him, I would have brought him up.
Yeah, he's a great,
he's
great
a cool
guy.
guy.
We're
Phil's a good guy.
friends.
We're friends.
Yeah, nice guy, great professor. I learned a lot from him. I
Yep.
still remember one of my final project in his class. Larry Budner, I don't know if you
Yes,
remember.
I do. I know Larry.
He's now in New York City.
He did something that I was involved in. He had me come in and he videotaped me about something. I forget what it was about. Maybe it was when I was in that. I know what it was. When I was in the movie Meet Joe Black, it was after. He did this documentary thing about that. He had the people that were extras that actually made it into the movie, which I was one. And, how'd you feel about it and all that kind of stuff. I never saw it, by the way.
Oh, you didn't see me?
Never saw it.
Oh, it's a great movie. Why wouldn't you?
No, I saw the movie. No, I never saw his
documentary.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw the movie.
Oh, nice. So I had a great experience at Rick, and I really, got my money's worth. And although it's, wonderful to go to maybe a school that's really well known for broadcasting,
Right.
I think no matter what school you go to, and whatever you're studying, if you work hard, you can land exactly where you want to be.
If you
just
got
have
it,
to
you
work
got it.
hard.
Yeah, you got to work at it. Yeah, of course, you have to work at it.
So when I got, everything I needed from Rhode Island College, and I loved it.
Now, I've seen you out promoting this in the media. How's that worked for you? How's that
It's
going?
great. I was on the road show November 1st with Danielle North, and she did a great job.
I like her.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
very
Danielle.
nice, and
she's down to earth.
I
Very
enjoyed
down-to-earth
working
girl.
with her at Channel 12. She did a great job with the interview. She was interested in the book, and that was very nice. I was also on AM 790 with Scott Cordici. I think you saw the photograph promoting the book. That was a lot of fun. That was at the Cardi's Furniture Extra Point football show. That was at Dave & Buster's some weeks ago, and Rob Gronkowski was there. So he helped me promote the book as well. He's
a kicker.
He
Is he the kicker?
He is a New England Patriots football player.
Yeah, he's a kicker, isn't he? Yeah.
He's really
I know
tall.
I had it. Yeah, he's a kicker. Yeah.
So it's been going very well, and it's been well received. So I'm very excited about it, and I'm happy to be here as well.
Now, again, the website, people want to...
My website is www.rainasmith.com, and you can read a little bit more about what the book's about, a synopsis of the story, a little bit about me. You can watch the interview from the Roadshow on Fox Providence. What else is on there? Oh, some excerpts from the book.
Right.
And, how to contact me if someone wants to write to me, and some media photos. So the website is very informative if anyone wants to learn more about the book. And there are some quotes, some readers' quotes, including one from Glenn Laxton.
Glenn Laxton. Hey, how did you get it published? Where did you get it published, and how did you get it published?
Well, I published this myself, so this is self-published. So I used a company through Amazon.com to publish the book. But you can take your materials, you can take your cover art, you can take your interior file, and you can have it made at, any printing company that does this sort of work. I know there's one in Massachusetts, and the price, I think, is somewhat somewhat comparable.
And they go by the page too, right? They charge you by the page, right? Don't they?
They do, yes.
Yeah. So this is a little expensive to put together.
Right. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
And then you want a nice heavyweight cover that's laminated.
Right.
And
a beautiful model too. You need.
Thank you.
It's good you have a beautiful model there on the cover.
Thank you.
Quite sensual, actually.
Thank you. So I think it's a great cover. I love my cover, and I think it attracts a lot of attention to the book, and it's symbolic of what the book's about, good and evil.
And you're promoting it everywhere besides where you've been now. You're still promoting it.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a little more attention. I have a Facebook page, The 13th Apostle by author Raina C. Smith. Anyone can go there and like my Facebook page. That would be great. So just, work. I've had some people from England and Ireland interested in the book, which I'm not sure how that happened, but the book is for sale all around the world. So
that's cool. That's cool. How's it going? How's it going, by the way?
Good, pretty good.
Sales are going?
Pretty good.
Going okay?
Yep. I launched it November 1st on the Roadshow, so.
Oh, so it's very, very new. It's very new. I mean, you just absolutely have done it now, right?
Right. So it was exciting to see some people in Europe liking it and, getting some attention over there.
Yeah.
So you're going to read it, Bob?
I am going to read it.
All right. Yeah. I bet you'll like it.
I got to get by the cover, though. Well, thank you, and I'm glad I could get to finally meet you.
I know. It's really been a pleasure. Thanks for having me. And we match.
We match, and look, I even got you in my pocket.
You have my business card in your pocket?
How do you like this, folks? Who's got a shot of this? The business card. Where am I? The business card matches the book cover. Is that cool or what?
It is the book cover, right. And then the information's on the back.
Yeah. Raina Smith, available at eBooks and Amazon.
It's available on Amazon as a paperback.
Right.
It's also on Amazon as an ebook, as well as BarnesandNoble.com, the Sony Reader Store, and the Apple iBook Store.
Wow.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
for stopping by.
Thank you.